Hello. Okay, so can everyone hear me? Okay, nice. So yeah, a lot of technical issues, but yeah, it's just the life of using Linux, I guess. Um, so I think uh, we'll start with like what we're going to do today. And I think the first thing to show is like what we have now in terms of online and what is the next step. So what I will do, okay, I can prepare my windows for coding. Um, Here we can start the server, and then I will start two Dolphin clients. Have them uh, okay here. And then we'll do the same for the second one. Yeah, that's not okay. Better like this. Um, yeah, I'm from Switzerland. My native language is French, so it's very different the way you pronounce stuff compared to English. So what I can do is okay, we can start it and start the second one. Oh, okay. And I think it can be even better if I can move them to this screen here. So, okay. Um, we can go to online mode. And then here, okay, I would just do the simplest possible. If I really wanted to show stuff, I could do 3 players, 4 players using the tandem mode. But just here we can do 1 player. I didn't think you would join Verbal. Um, and here, okay, we see we can connect to the server. Um, if we see the server's window here, we see, okay, we got 2 connections. One from like this port and this one from the second port. Second line is like because I think I have the local host server twice. I think here and here because here I'm using I think the IP address of um yeah, it's like of the laptop. I think it's this one, and the first server is like it's simply localhost. So I will probably remove this one at some point because it's not very useful. Um, So if we connect, we can show, okay, we connect here. We see, okay, we got one player online. And for now, I only, well, I did a few things for this one. So actually these values, they come from the server, also these ones. But at the moment, I just use default values because there is no way to compute the MMR or to know how many players there are like playing each mode in the worldwide room. So anyway, and if we go to the next one, also these values on the number of players, it also comes from the server, but these ones, they are just local because it's just the number of tracks per pack. And then these values also come from the server. But anyway, it's not going to be the focus today. The focus is going to be for the dual mode. It's like exactly like worldwide, except there are maybe fewer screens. But here we are going to focus on the personal room mode. And here we can, if we could also go here, we can either create a new room or enter a code. On this one, I will create a new one, just versus mode and all tracks. To be a bit simpler, I will use a short code, and here now I have to enter it. So I don't know what key maps to what letter. I think it's like this. So now if I connect, I see, okay, we have each player can see each other. So this player is the host. So you can change settings, and they will apply also to the guest. But this one, if you try to, you cannot really say it, but if you try to move, you cannot do anything because you are just a guest. And the only thing you can do is like show or hide the room code, and you can choose if you want to be a spectator or if you want to play. And then we want to do, well, I guess simply the next thing. So, and I think if I go to OK here, well, nothing happens on this one. And also, you may have seen that I selected FFA, and here it's asking me to select teams, so it doesn't really make sense. So our goal for today is like going to, very first goal would be just to simply go to this screen on the guest. And then the second goal would be to also make the team selection screen work using multiplayer. And also, I guess it's not really a big feature, but if we select FFA, maybe go right away to this screen, to the player list screen, because you don't have to choose teams. So if I maybe, oh yeah, I cannot do it, but yeah, this one is just going to, anyway. So I think we can start. If we go back to this, we can stop the server anyway. Here, this number is like the ID of the room that was created, but at the moment we cannot see like a log message if we have one player joining or leaving your room. Only when a player joins or leaves the server. Okay, so I think the first thing we have to do is going to be well, we have to create the the new kind of like message to send between the client and server. So if we go, we have all our message definitions, and so we go to formats, again formats, and online, and then we have like client state, server state. So client state is like what the client is sending. Server state is what the server is sending. It's like all more or less stateless. So each frame you send basically the whole data that's relevant for the current scene or the current stage. So if we take a look, we can start, I think, with the client state, and we see like basically it's all with code generation. So we define like okay, we want some kind of enum client state, which can be like the client state, server mode, pack, and room. And basically this will be sent like based on what is the current how do we say, the current screen which we are viewing. So if we are on the personal room screen, we will send a room message. If we are sending a pack, we send the pack message. If we are sending the server, we send the server message. And here for the team selection, I will add a new one. So we can call it team. Okay, and then we have to create it. So for now, I will simply keep it empty. I will just, because the goal will just be to like bring the client into this new mode, or like this new state. Okay. Like this. And then we also have to create it here. Like this. Okay. And then if we compile the server, should be okay. We can try to, okay, we can implement it now on the server side. Well, the first thing we have to do is also to, we need a way to tell if we're a guest, what, well, that we are going into the next state, basically. Because if you are a host, it's simple. You can simply move to the next screen and start sending this client state team. But if you are a guest, you don't have a way to know. So what we need to do is we will add a new value in the previous state when we're in the room to say, okay, you must continue and go to the next state. So, and then we have, okay, in the room state, there are actually multiple like substates. We have the new substate, which is like when you create a new room, the code substate will try to join a room using a code, and the main state, which is like, okay, now you are in the room and you get updates for the settings. And so we only need it in the main, where we already have like this, the number of spectators, the options, and then whether you are spectating or not. So we can simply copy this. Okay, I can name it like this. Okay, continuing. Yeah. And I think we can start to implement the server. So okay. So on the server side, we have like for each client, we have like some kind of state, which is okay. The client is idle. Maybe it's in the server state, vault state, back state, and home state that more or less correspond to the messages that we can send. So I guess we can add a new one here. Team state. Yeah. So I think the new packet definitions that we added are not enough. We also need something on the server state because we need to tell also if we are the host that we are like already in the team state, because otherwise there will be no feedback about this. Okay, and for now we can keep it empty because just need to see. Okay, like this, and then also need to add it here. Okay. If we go back and go to the client here, we can say, okay, if we are in the team state, we can send simply something like this. Yeah. I think we had to do it like this. Okay. And then I think for this we can also, like for the other ones, keep the identity, which is like the player names, like this. Okay. And it means that we can do it a bit like this. But we don't use it to make the answer. So now we can start handling the team state from the client. For this to happen, what do we need? I think we need like yeah, we need to be already in a room, otherwise it doesn't make sense. So I think here we may need to add also the room info. Here doesn't matter. And for this one, it doesn't matter. And this one. Okay, here we have to do it a bit differently, like this. Then we can add the new state. So like this, like this. And here, what do we have to do? Yeah, we can simply create a team state. Okay, at the moment we don't care, or we likely care. So maybe let's take a look at the, not here, at the room. So basically we have functions like I don't know, change options and do stuff like, a bit like this. And yeah, I don't know if we want also like some kind of state for this. I don't want to make it too complicated. At least for now. At some point, yeah, we will need to make sure, okay, if the room was already started, we should not be able to join it, for instance. But I don't know if we need this right away. Because basically we'll need like one state would be like the room in the, I don't know how we would call it, but basically the room state. And another one would be like the team state and then the ones that come after it. So, but then a lot of values are like shared between states, like the number of spectators. So, yeah, it's interesting. I think I will do something like this. And then, okay. Um, so here we have a what client states, just state. I will put it at the end for now. We'll see later maybe what's the space. And by default, we are simply in the room state. So um, okay. Then I want to take a look again at the client code. Maybe we can I will do it a bit like this for now. We can add a new function like set teams. Yeah, I don't know if we even need it now, but anyway. Okay, for now we can say, yeah, I think it's already useful. So at the moment for this function, we will not pass the actual teams yet, but only say, okay, we are choosing the teams. And then it will change the state. Okay. So I think in this case we can do it like this. So so we can get a room. And then based on this, we can set, okay, call this function. I don't know if we have some kind of error to handle or not really. Maybe the room doesn't exist anymore for whatever reason. So let's see maybe how it's done for the room state. Because here we have a way to tell the client that there is some kind of error if, for instance, the room doesn't exist or it was closed or something like this. So and I guess we'll need a bit the same for the team state. Say okay, and if we want something like this, yeah, I will add it also to the format. So here in the team state, we can simply add for now it will be just one value that can tell us, okay, there is an error, and if there is one, we will like close the it will get the it will exit like the team selection UI. Okay. So what we can do then is in our team state, yeah, we can do a bit the same as this. So and then inside we can do like like this. Yeah. Can convert. Okay, and then we need to handle it here. So here we don't call, and then we can call map simply. We call the function, and yeah, for now we're assuming we cannot, it cannot fail. It's not going to be the case, but and then we can do like this, and then we can do, yeah, exactly the same logic as the room state. So okay, so we have something that compares, but it doesn't do anything useful for now because we don't have a way to tell the client that, well, not the client, the guest, that the host has started the room. But now we can do it actually. And then we will need like a function to see if what is like the current state of the room, or if, yeah, I think we can do something like this. So we can make all these states public, and then we can add a new function to get the state. And here in the room, okay. So what happens here? Oh, right, I think I made a mistake. Okay. Uh, yeah, I think I added some value to the wrong place. So here this continuing, of course, it doesn't need to doesn't have to, yeah, it should go in the server, not in the client. Okay, and then as expected, we get an error because we don't specify it. Makes a lot more sense now. So so what we can do is like, okay, and then we need something to add it here. Yeah, it makes sense. Which means that like like this. Okay, so now we pass it, and then yeah, every time we have to initialize it. So here we can set it to false. Um, hmm. Yeah, because we just created a new room. So yeah, it cannot be. And then here it's a bit different. Here we should get the value from somewhere. Um, should we have like some kind of background music or something? If you have suggestions, just tell me. I don't accept donations. Sorry. I was thinking maybe we can have, yeah, we'll see what we can find, but um, if we go to maybe some old Mario Kart music, so maybe Super Secret. I don't know how boring it's going to be, but this one's extended 15 minutes per track. I think this one maybe. I don't know, it doesn't start at the beginning. Wait, the quality seems kind of bad, but I don't know if it's really like this. Like this one is much better, but yeah, maybe let's go with this. So here we would have like, okay, like that. And then, okay, we maybe have to import. Yeah. Um, on this, we not only need to have it like when initializing, but every time we update. So also here. Yeah. So does it compile? Yes. Okay. So I think now on the server side, we have all we need, or almost. Okay. Set the teams. Yeah, I think we have it all. But then, yeah, we can start the real fun when we move to the client side, which is always more complicated because we have to be really in the game. So yeah, I think I made a mess because I opened Dolphin using a user folder on this in my double dash Deluxe development folder. So there's like Dolphin config, Dolphin bugs, Dolphin resource packs. Well, all the folders that it creates by default, but yeah, it's a big deal. Okay, so now we can try to compile the mod. And I would say, as expected, we can get some errors because of the new definitions that were added. So if we go to the server states, yeah, we need to add a lot of new functions. So um, to say, okay, now we are in the server state, so we cannot handle a team state message. We'll have to do it for all existing states. So not very fun. But at least you are really sure that in any possible case, we always handle any message. So I can do it like this. And then do it for the back one. And then last one. Where is it? Okay. Okay, so now I think we handle all the new team state that we would receive from the server, so we completely ignore it in all our current code for now. And then there is this new continuing boolean that we also have to handle. So here it's only for the room state, and then we also have to pass it to the UI. So what we can do is like we have this client state room read info, which is like a bit all the data that we get from the server when we are in the room state, and then that we pass to the UI. So like we simply have okay, do we have an error or not? Do we and then okay, the list of players and all the settings, a lot of stuff. So and then we can add this new value here. And then we need, I'm not in the right class. Yeah, it should be this one. And then I can just copy the declaration from the generated code here. So we see is continuing, should go just after the options reader. Like this, and like this. And same here. Okay. Okay, and then we need to decide, okay, is it a valid value that we receive this? So it depends. Like if we are the host, we should never receive it. Because we should already have moved to the next state. Things like this. And I think if we are not the host, we should always be able to receive it. So yeah, we can keep it simple. So, okay. Yeah, it also depends on the value actually. It's not just, okay, we receive it, we don't receive it. It's also like this, and then you can simply write it. All right. I think it's like this. Oh, no, the other way. Okay. So now we can handle this new value, but we cannot test it yet because we also have to set it. So, and this, just to be able to do it, we need to write a lot of code because we need like a new state. Okay, so what we can do is like for each state we always like two structures. One of them is like for passing data from the like the backend to the UI, and the other one is the other way. At the moment, I think we can keep them empty, but after that we can add stuff to them. Okay, so we have our two structures, very simple. And then we can create a new state. For this, I'm just going to copy paste some stuff from the existing states. I don't know which one is the best, but I can do the room one. Okay, let's go. So we can just, yeah, we copy all this stuff and we will remove all the ones that we don't need for now. So this one we need. So it can read the server state, and then it can read the server state, not for the room, but for the team. Okay. Then like this, and we don't need that much. So what did I do? Okay, this. Okay, and then can I implement something like this? Can do this one, this one. Does it make sense to go from the team state to the room state? I would say no. So this one, we can do it like this. Okay. Okay. And then I think the client state also needs to know about this. So what did I do? Yeah, I guess I didn't give it the right name. Yeah, better like this. Then we can implement. Yeah, it's really all the same. Okay, so we don't no longer get an error here. I think we can start to implement. No, not this. Yes. And then again, I think we can do it a bit like the, yeah, start from what we have on the room state and then just adapt it to handle the team state. What's the issue here? Okay. So we also have to adapt this. And then, yeah, we can do like this for the connection. I think at some point we will need to share a bit more code between the different states because we have a bit of duplication at the moment, but we'll do it later. And this, we can do it like this. Okay. I guess I made not one mistake, but two. Oh, I guess, no, it's just not directly included yet. Yeah, because, yeah, we also need to do this. Yeah, it's really a lot of boilerplate code to write every time we need new state. So I don't know how much I will be able to improve this, but yeah, it's not really ideal. On the other hand, we don't have that many states. And here, yeah, we also have to give it a default definition. So okay, we say okay, by default we don't handle this state, but we can override it when we can. Okay. So here we don't have completion error anymore. Here we have to adapt it simply like this. And then, okay, we have this check socket function. This I will just copy it. Okay, so it seems to be happy. But yeah, let's do a full compilation because maybe some functions are missing truly. Okay, so now what we want to be able to do is like we are in the room state and we want to move to the team state. So not very complicated, but it's going to cause a lot of additional compilation errors that we're going to fix. So we say, okay, this we can handle actually. Team. And I think we can do it exactly like the back state. Okay, see you and hello. So what does it say? Okay, yeah, as expected, a lot of compilation errors because we didn't implement all the functions. You can do it. So what do we have to implement? Server reader? Yeah, all this stuff. So basically, at least just the base function for each state to at least say, okay, this one we don't handle, this one we don't handle, except one. And the one that we handle is not the room one, but the team one. Okay, so what more do we need? Okay, we need team writer function. And then, yeah, we simply need to handle set error, is error valid? Not too many. So this one, and then these two. No, not these two. Doesn't make sense. This, yeah. Okay. So for this, it's always valid to have an error, I guess. And then we have to store it somewhere, so we can add a new field. Yeah, for the naming, I will see. Sometimes it's like is okay, sometimes it's error. It's not very consistent, but let's go with this for now. And I think we can also say once we have an error, we cannot go back. We have to go to another state before like reinitializing. Or I don't remember what is the how do we say that? Yeah, to like reset the error. So so it's one way like this. And then this function so I guess I didn't do something correctly. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so all these functions are private, but it should be public. So we're missing some. Yeah, we don't have this function. Here, I don't know what we need to do. I think maybe we can keep it empty. Let's see how it's done for the other state. Oh no, yeah, we have to do stuff. So at the moment, we don't have any value that we can update, so we just remove this. And then we can say, okay, this we don't choose. So since it compiles, it means that I think on the back end, on the client, we have what we need. And now the next step is going to be on the UI. So we will need to say, okay, we need to move to the next state, and then we'll call some of these backend functions. So We can go to the team selection UI, and then we will make it a bit like the room selection. So yeah, we can. It will need to implement this interface. Which is like, okay. Here, okay. And then, like, what state do we need to handle? I think not too many. So, do we need to handle the mode state? I think no, we don't. Back state, no. The room state, yes. And then also the team state, of course. And then we can simply, yeah, just have a few functions to call. So basically, this is going to be the same also. This. Basically, it's going to me the point where we read data from the server. It's going to call all the code that we have seen before, and it will also use maybe call these functions as a callback. I think we need to include this. Yeah, and then like when we are done updating all the UI, we do the opposite. Basically, we will send data to the server. And here, at the moment, we don't have like any kind of persistent state, so we can just every frame create a new object and pass it. Like this. And I guess, yeah, we have another missing function that we also need to implement. So here. Again, a lot of repetition. Yeah. And now it should complain about a few more missing functions. Yeah. So basically, we have to implement these three functions that go before sliding. Okay, we can look at the room implementation to see how to do it. So basically, if you are still in the room state, just don't do anything. Easy. And if you are in the team state at the moment, we cannot do much. So same. And then for the error, we can simply like show the error screen, which is like not really amazing at the moment, but because it's just based on the LAN error screen. But I think it's good enough. For this, we have to include, what was it? Yes. Yeah. So with this, assuming there was no mistake, yeah, maybe let's check that it compiles. Should be enough, like to have the host telling the server that okay, the room is starting and we are going to the team selection. But I guess we could test it using, I don't know, debug logs on the server. I think shouldn't take that much to also add the guest side, so that when we are a guest, we are automatically sent from the room settings and so on to the team selection. So we can maybe do it like this. And then when we receive some information from the server that we are continuing. Hello. Yeah, we can simply update this value. So and then we need to use it. So here, yeah, I will take a look at how we do the timer, because it's a bit the same idea that at some point we are no longer controlling the UI, but it comes from the game itself. So well, the team selection has the timer actually. So we can do it like this. And then you can try. I don't have very high expectations, but let's see anyway. I would say things are going well. We are doing the very first test. I don't know if this is going to work, but I selected the wrong server. Okay. Let's see what happens. Let's go. So we have something happening. Not what we want, but at least it's better than nothing. Uh, Interesting. So we're like kicked out of the room. I don't know why. So I have no idea, but I'm not really sure. So this. Okay, so what we see is that the room was closed. Yeah. But why? Oh, I think I know. Okay. So if we have a way to if we check how we are closing rooms is like for like every frame, because the server is a bit like the client. It's really running a bit at like 60 frames per second, and every frame it has like some updates. And in these updates, one of them is like checking okay, for each room whether the room is still alive, and to do this, we simply call a function on the room itself, and we need to have at least like we need to have a host, because if there is no host, the room is automatically closed. And then how do we check that the host is because the host can still be connected but maybe no longer in the room. So we also check, like for each room, we check, okay, who are the players that are connected, and we check for each player, okay, is this player still connected to this room? And to do this, we get the room ID from the client. So if we check, I think it's simply that I did new state, but I didn't update the room ID. So if here we are in the team state, you should also get the room ID. I can even maybe simplify this code to be like like this. And this. And like this. Oh, I did something wrong. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we can try again, I guess. No. Yeah. Not better. Sorry. So it actually changed something. So now we see, okay, the rumor is created, and then the client was actually disconnected because I guess there is something that we don't consider to be a valid packet that was received. So yeah, it's going to be exactly the same because here we also extract the room information to know if we are in a room or not, and we didn't do it for the team state. So wasn't long to debug. Hopefully this time. I don't know. I never know where the. Okay. Let's go. So then what is going to be the next challenge? Of course, here when we move or we select the teams, the thing is happening on the guest side. So we will need to synchronize them now. So to do that, we can go and check the formats. And then think about what do we need to send? Like, so the client needs to send like, but only if it's the host. For each player, what is the selected team? And then also like the current selection, like what is also the current selected player. It's not strictly needed, but it's a bit like a, it looks nicer if everyone can see like what what player is currently being like put in a team by the host. And the guests, they don't need to send anything, I think. So what we can do is like, okay, we have yeah, let's keep it as simple as possible. So here we can have interesting. Here we see that like after 2 minutes, if there is no activity from our client, it's automatically disconnected. So we see our two clients here, and then since there is no one in the room anymore, it's also closed after 2 minutes. But yeah, I don't need to keep the server running. So yeah, I'll try to keep it a bit like the room state. So here I will have like two states, one host state and guest state. So at the end, I think we can. So what do I get? Yeah, I think we can do the SNES. Yeah, see you. Yeah, it's really nice to be able to work with Rust on this project. I wish we could do like also GameCube programming using Rust and not just for the server. Okay, Then for the guest, we don't need any data. And for the host, we can do like, okay. Yeah, so we can compile Rust for PowerPC already. Like if you just want to make completely new stuff, like I don't know, a homebrew application, it's fine. Well, I guess one big disadvantage, but it's not specific to Rust, but more like the current state of GameCube development is like you may have to deal with like lib or GC or DevKit Pro. But if you want to integrate it into a game, it's much more painful because you will need to deal like with the integration between C++ and Rust, and also it's not even like yeah, there is also the deal with the C++ ABI, which is not supported by modern compilers, only by CodeWarrior. Yeah, I've seen there is like some crate or some like framework to use C++ and Rust together, but I think there is no way this is going to work with existing GameCube and Wii games because of the ABI. I think something nice to have at some point would be like, especially with all the deal with libgc, to have a new framework to work with yeah, to simply develop a new Rust, no, yeah, maybe a new GameCube or Wii stuff, but without using DevKit Pro, lib, OGC, and so on. And yeah, we could do it in Rust. I think it will be a nice project. I don't know, for next year or something. So one team, and then we can have like between, the 0 makes sense, probably not. I don't know. 0 and 8 players. Uh, all right. Okay. And then how to call it? I'll try to use the same name. Slack root. Okay, and entry index, which is like the current selected line on the UI. Like this. Yeah, we can format. Okay, I think we have what we need for now. We need also to add them here. All right, that's that's only on the client actually for now. Yeah, and then the one for the host. Okay. Um, and then we can do the same on the server side. It's going to be simpler because on the server we don't have to distinguish between guest and host. So we don't need these two like states. Yeah, or maybe we do, but the states are not the same. It's going to be like okay or error. Oh, Wayland. Maybe one program that doesn't support Wayland yet. I guess you are aware of it, but this guy here. All right. Yeah, I forgot here. I think the order is more like this for the other ones. So for the server, yeah, I think I will do something like this. what difference would it make to have the SDL window? Ah, okay. So the idea is simply to, because it's already supposed Wayland. Yeah, okay. Is it a problem to have, because like when you have Dolphin, I think the main window is completely different from the game window. Where like the main window is like cute, and the game window is a bit like done by hand in Dolphin, but I'm not really sure. Okay, I see. Okay. So we have state room, state team. What am I doing? So the client, I think it's okay. We have host guest, the state, and then the upper level state. For the server now, yeah, you can simply do it like this. So this we don't, this we can rename, and this, instead of having like host versus guest, we have main versus error. Okay, and then we have to adapt the code a bit. Yeah, we can do it like this. So so instead of having like server room state, we can have a server team state. this one can be like exactly like this. And here, yeah, okay. I think we need like to store the like in the team state. We have like a stuff identity room info. So I think the first thing that we can I think in the room info we should have like something like this. Hmm. Or maybe not. Should maybe simply say that like, okay, if we don't have the team information, then we don't keep the room information also. Um, yeah. So, oh, we already reached the end. Okay, let's do the S then. Or N64. Yeah, we do all the old ones. You got my iPadOS like this one. Yeah, I don't know what I will be able to do. I think we can do it this way. So when you're in the team state, okay. Now you have to do something with this, of course. So now we should get the data about the for team selection. and we will pass it here. Um, what I don't remember is how it was done, like for. Yeah, there's also this. Okay. If you go to the room, structure, can do something like this, and let's see how it complains. Okay. Oh, not the same. So I think we can do a bit like the options. So we check like, okay, yeah, I think I will rename actually, like set team state. And this we can call it simply state. And we'll also, yeah, we will start handling a bit errors. So like this. So what can we have? We can have like, okay, host or guest. But in guest we don't have any data anyway. And also we should pass the client, yeah, funnel. Yeah, let's do it anyway. So we can pass the public key of the client, so we can know who is doing that. See you. So one simple thing we can check is, okay, if we receive like a guest message, do we actually receive it from a guest? Same for the host. Otherwise, it will be a bit like a security issue where we would have the guest to change the teams. And for the guest case, I guess that's it. Um, and then we will need to store the team selection somewhere. So what you can do is like um, maybe like this. So we can already transform it into the server structure. So okay, but now we cannot copy it anymore, but I guess that's okay. I think we can even remove this. Um, and this I will change. I will do like, okay. Um, yeah, I don't know what's best. I could like return, okay. Sometimes we have the team selection, sometimes not. Um, or we can still return the state. Yeah, I don't know what's best. I think I will have the idea once we do the next state. Like it's going to be like the character selection or the track voting. But for now we can do this. So we don't need to copy anymore. Okay. Um, then inside okay, we have what we want. And then we can simply get the selection from the host and put it in the state. So here it's going to tell us, okay, what is missing? Teams. And like the entry index. Okay. At the moment, I want check these two. Like it's okay even if we have a room with like I don't know 2 players. If we have like eight team selection values and the entry index is whatever. At the moment, we accept everything. And later, when we also implement on the client side the UI to show like the correct player list, then we can check it on the server to make sure that we don't get like a garbage entry index or like number of players. And and then we can do like this. Okay. So what do we get now? So here, what should do? Yeah. If we have the room information, we assume like, okay, everything was okay. But if things like change in the meantime, just ignore and the next frame it's going to be better. And then I think like this. Even like this. And here is same if we don't have the right state. Okay, we will handle it later. Uh, all right. Yeah, what do we get? Okay, simply this. Then we can pass this. I guess it doesn't have the same name. It's maybe simply called state. Okay. I think on the C++ side it relates to collisions. The rest I will just give the simple name, just state, other than this long one. But, okay, yeah. And here, okay, we can simply do, I think this. Yeah. And here I, yeah, can do like this. Okay, and in the end we didn't create anything, so. So I don't know if we have all we need on the server side, maybe. I think I will do the client and test it, and then we'll see. So we can go back to our client state team. Okay, so we changed the way we handle errors. So it's not just a Boolean now, it's like a whole new state. So we can check what we need to implement. Yeah. So no, I'm not looking at the right one. So what we need is server team state. Okay. So this basically it's going to replace these two functions. So this and also this. Okay. What do we get? Okay, so then we have to implement even more functions. Okay, so all these ones actually. Right inside. sound, but significantly the only one. There is also how it was done for the state. This we will have to write terminal functions. Yeah, now we have to implement all these functions. Most of them are going to be pretty simple, but so into this we have basically all of them. So reading functions. Do I need to reduce the music? Because I don't think I can make my voice louder. So is it better like this? Nice. So for the next functions like is error valid, we can keep the same implementation as before. And same for set error. Well, we can even simplify it because we don't have a boolean anymore, so. Then all these functions at the moment, yeah, I think we can already implement them properly. So to do this, we need like to create a structure in which we will put the data from these functions. Oh, we already have the structure, but more like add fields to it. So can state team read for the moment we like just like have like okay or not. Okay, let's see maybe how it's done for the room state. So we have okay and then optional info okay. I think we can have the same pattern. And then in info we can have we can also have players. That's exactly like and then the team like this. Okay. I think again for the it's not exactly the same because here we already know like how many players we have. Yeah, I think it's okay to twice the server on this. If it makes sense, yeah. We will see. For now it doesn't really matter, but at some point maybe we will have to check a bit more what the server is sending. I don't know. If the number of players increases or something like this, it's not really okay, but so we can do it like this and like something really similar to what we had for the room. Okay. Yeah, I think like this it can work. So here we can accept any number because already when we generate we have a bunch of like auto-generated code for reading these packets, and when we basically define what is like the format of the packets, we can when we have an array we can say okay the maximum size is going to be this. So for this it's already checked for us that it's not going to be more than 8. so we can accept anything. I think this. Okay, so for this one, Dase should not be more than 4, and also depending on the number of players, should not be more like, I don't know if it are like, let's say just 2 players. It should be no more than 2, but I don't know if it really makes sense to check it here. But it should be less than 4. On the other hand, yeah, with this we need to check it. So I would add also in the format generation the maximum number of teams, so we can have a value that we can then use here. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Oh yeah. I think I just created it, but didn't add it to the. What is the order of this? So it should go just after mod index count. Here. Okay. No, not okay. I also need to add it here. So we have all of this. Yeah. What we could also do is like, instead of having this value here, we can also limit it, but I don't remember how it's called. Yeah, here it's C++ 03, so we don't even have auto. We always have to type all the types by hand because it's all that's all that CodeWarrior is supporting. Yes. I think this constant, we can move it. It's shared between the server and the client now. Well, it's also super useful for like lambdas or I don't know. Every time you have like Yeah. Every time I think I have like a reference or pointer or anything that's more like just an integer, I tend to use it. Yeah, there is a lot of code like this in Deluxe because there's no auto. But the nice thing, or I don't know, it depends on what you like, but if you with double dash you have all the debug symbols because there was simply like shipped with the game, so it's much easier to do reverse engineering compared to MKV. But maybe some people prefer to have nothing because the reverse engineering part is what interests them. Yeah, I also prefer, but I would say the only disadvantage is that sometimes the names that are chosen by Nintendo are not the best. So sometimes I'm like, okay, we have this function, but I think it would be better if it was called like this or like that. I would say it was a bit. With MKV, I was able to like, okay, the naming is going to be this. With double dash, there is already something I have to deal with. But otherwise, it saves a lot of time because there's some code, I don't know, like rendering or that's very complicated to understand if you don't have symbols. Or at least it's very time consuming. Yeah, I think rendering is one of the most complicated parts, but maybe it's also because I didn't touch much it either on MKV or double dash. Maybe it's not that complicated, I don't know. Yeah, the infamous Chinese MKW version. Yeah, it's I would say between Vulkan and like GX, which is like the graphics API used on the GameCube and on the Wii. It's very, 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 very different. You didn't like really have shaders on the GameCube, so it's really all like a fixed function. Well, you have the TEVs, but it has basically nothing to do with like a modern GPU. And especially Vulkan, because the old OpenGL, for instance, is a lot like GX. I think it was, I don't know if it was like based on it, if like GX was based on OpenGL as in terms of API. And a bit the whole point of Vulkan is to get away from this early like OpenGL legacy, to be really just designed for modern GPUs and yeah, let all the old stuff go. I don't think the DS has shaders. The DS, it's a bit special. I'm a bit more familiar with like the GBA, which is uh, just for the DS. I think the DS is like you take the GBA and okay, you can still do like all the 2D rendering, and but you also have like a special like a background or texture, and on this one you can render in 3D, but yeah, okay, I don't know, it's possible. I'm not super familiar with the DS. But you can have lighting without shaders, because just on the Wii you can do lighting. Okay, so just accept it. Okay, I was going to same thing. Alright, yeah, I think it's okay. So yeah, okay, it's all the sound effects. I think okay, let's do the MKDS. Alright, we also need to add it here. So oh, thank you. So, as I said, if we have, yeah, okay. So I guess if we compile, we get some more errors because I don't think I implemented all the functions. Yeah, okay, makes sense. I think for the reading part we're done. Now we can do the writing. Yeah, I just wanted to check. Yeah, by default for the reading information, I need to initialize it actually because then yeah, we can move to the writing functions. Yeah. The right file. So, okay, so we have this. We have team writer, and then we need to implement this function. So for this, easy. Oh no, not so easy. We need this. And then, okay, if you are the host, we can do like I'll check how it's done here. Okay. Something like this. Yeah, maybe we have to already add this. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure it's spoiling. So oh, right, okay. We need something like this. No, okay. It's called like, yeah, okay. Nice. Okay. And we can do, yeah, something like this. Then, okay, for the entry index, okay, we can add it here. These two, yeah, we need to make sure they are updated. Can't do it here. And copy this. Also copy this one. So now we can update the UI to support this new stuff. So, okay, we have to know if we are the host or not. Okay. Yeah, we can add a field like is a host, same as the room UI. So that is okay, or not? It's just called okay. And we can initialize it the same way. Yeah. So again, if you are the host, you can copy all the stuff. Let's set number of players. And then like set the team for each player. Like this. And then now we have to implement the guest side. So for this, yeah, again I will look at the personal implementation. Yeah, this is really the same idea, so this will just have to adapt. And then I think we can, yeah, we can. Yeah, for the host, we will also want to check like if the current selection was actually received by the server or not. And to be able like to wait before moving like to the next state. But this we will implement it later. I will already add the variable to keep track of it, but we will not use it right away. And yeah, wait for it to run. So basically it's going to be like, okay. Yeah, okay, it's a bit. Yeah, I will not do it now. So we can focus on the guest side. So Here we can simply copy the number of players and then copy the team for each player. Yeah. Maybe I will simplify. Instead of having this card structure, we can maybe just have teams. It would be simpler if we do this. And then we can also copy the entry index. I don't know if you're missing something. Maybe you can try. Yeah! Seems to work. And if we try to changing on the client side, we get immediately denied. And if you use the random selection, it also works. So yeah, we have like a proof of concept for the online selection. Well, the online selection, the online team selection. I think maybe one I think we can do next is maybe just block the inputs on the here. Yeah, if you are the guest. So for this we have to be the host. I'm not sure about the timer. If like if we're not the host, Do we still want the timer to even show up? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I think it will make sense, but I'm not so sure. So, you can allow it like, okay, you can press A if you are the host, and otherwise, if the timer is expired, you also go to the next scene. B is okay. At the moment, it goes back to the personal room UI, but it doesn't really make sense. But well, it makes sense for development. But I will keep it like this for now. And then all the next four, basically, we need to check if we are the host. Yeah, same for the random selection. Okay. Yeah, we can try this change. Yeah, didn't move. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for today, for this stream. Because the next thing to do for the team selection online, yeah, going to be a bit more technical. It is also going to really much to show, right? Except maybe the to show just the right players, but other than that, it's more like okay, making sure that everything we receive and we send is valid, basically, and that we handle errors, but it's not super fun. So, thanks for watching. See you.